What's up, everybody? It's the Sports Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren, along with his fellow co-hosts, Dorian, the D.A. Albreton, James, the Angry One Warren, Mike Mills, Daryl D-Dub Warren, and Dan K, the Hockey Dude. This is a real sports podcast for real fans. This is a sports podcast with no hot takes, no narratives, just real, unadulterated sports talk. Please be advised that there may be some colorful and explicit language. The Sports Chasers are the defenders of the fans. Now, here's your host and moderator, Kevin L. Warren!
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's happening, everybody? It's another episode and edition of the Sports Chasers Podcast coming to you live and direct, man. Shout out to all those in YouTube land. Shout out to all those on the sound of my voice on the podcast side. Remember, on the YouTube side, make sure you like, click, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you also share the channel. Also on the podcast side, make sure you give us that, I got it right now, that 5-star review. 5-star review. Also hit us up with the DA doing the Busta Rhymes. My eyes can't see.
Most times my eyes can't see. You know, you know what it is. You know me 30 years, Kev.
So
I got that Magoo thing. Probably.
We're gonna get right into it. DA, what's up, man? Since you're talking already, how are you, bro?
Yeah, man. You know, we good. Let's get into it. There's a few things we need to discuss. A lot of these topics are retreads, but yeah, man, you know, referees, shit like that every week. It's another one. So
yeah, well, let's jump on right into it. Some of the members will not be with us tonight, so it looks like it's just going to be me and DA riding out tonight. Shout out to the producer PJ, Mr. Junior himself. Thank you for Junior being on the backside of all the pause, of course, of of doing the show. Wanted to say shout out to all those in the comments tonight, man. Thank you so much for making the show grow. Hey, also, we'll put up in the left-hand corner, I think the producer, if he can find it, hey, there's a QR code. If you feel in the heart, in your heart of hearts, to donate to us, make sure you hit us up, man, with the
damn your heart of heart, just donate. Shit. You ain't even gotta like me, man. Just put the money in. What man Smooth B said, I get the money to put in my hand. The hand with his hand. I need the money to put in my hand.
Man, so we're gonna talk about some college football tonight. We're gonna talk some DA's got some FIFA tonight. FIFA tonight, right. Some boxing, some MLB. Hey, Oakland, after 55 years of being in Oakland, they're moving to Las Vegas. They finally got to move, even though they still don't have a stadium in Vegas that's approved. But you know, that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about that
death trap that the Raiders are playing in. So,
oh, geez, I know, right?
I'm not saying because the stadium's bad. I'm just saying that, you know, the Raiders, it's been a death trap since they got there. Like, it's been like there's a curse.
You talk about the new place, Allegiant.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just bad news.
Yeah, definitely
bad news. So
definitely,
and bad coaches. Maybe bad coaches make bad news.
Well, yeah. I'll say that. Let's start off with college football. We got Jim Harbaugh, according to CBS Sports. Let me read down here from Dean Stracker of CBS Sports. About 24 hours before Michigan and the Big Ten were set to meet in court to review the conference's 3-game suspension of Wolverines coach Jim Harbaugh, all the parties have decided to resolve their disagreement and move forward. Key to the resolution is Harbaugh accepting his suspension, which will keep him off the sideline through the remainder of the regular season. 2 games. In return, the Big Ten has agreed to close its investigation into the matter. Michigan remains under investigation by the NCAA for allegedly stealing signs in an illegally fashion through the use of advanced scouting and Technology. Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti acted to suspend Harbaugh last week as the NCAA's investigation continues amid reported pressure from conference members. DA, I'll give you a take, and then I'll come back around to what I think.
Listen, mine's going to be short because you're a detective, right? And I'm deferring all this foolishness to you, right? So he's essentially saying, well, we'll give you 3 games. You'll take that to make this go away, right? And when we say make this go away, we do. I guess that includes the, hey, well, Ohio State was doing it too, and this one was doing it too, and that one was doing it too. So all that goes away. Because remember, the Chargers last year's championship game, Ohio State and Rutgers gave Michigan's calls to Purdue in the hopes that Purdue could get an upset. That's what they said happened.
Yeah.
So this 3 games makes everything go away. Then why do we even start this shit? Why are we here then? That 3 games is not going to hurt them. Only game it could possibly hurt them would be Ohio State, and that's not like,
correct.
Not like Jim Harbaugh couldn't make a phone call if he saw something going crazy, right? He's watching from home. He calls the sideline, like calls directly to the sideline.
I thought they were supposed to have a cell phone on the sideline.
What? Somebody is.
Well, yeah. Well, they had a cargo box.
Right? Somebody got some wireless shit going on, and then we good to go. Come on, man. Again, I understand law and order. I got no problems with law and order, but I do have a problem with feckless law and order, toothless law and order, where you do these things, but you're really not really doing anything. Nothing's going to change, and I guess that's kind of my thing. I'm not with the, okay, we do this and nothing's going to change. So that's kind of where we sit at. So Kev, as the detective, yeah. I need you to get your legal on right now. I need you to explain your legal beagles that you was just talking about, brother.
So I believe he took it because, like you said, hey, it's this suspension. Let's just be over with it, and nobody else has to go into it. As you can say, hey, you accept your punishment. Hey, we will no longer look into it. But with that said, right, why they had to get to that point? What's the difference between? Because people will say, what's the difference between this, the Astros, and the Patriots? On the YouTube side, you should see DA's face. So some people, a lot of the Michigan alumni, they are 10 toes deep, and they're standing arm in arm and saying that this is nothing. And of course, all the others.
Then why was y'all going to rat everybody else out if it was nothing? Why are we
1,000?
Oh, well, yeah, they said it too. Come on, man.
Yep. Junior was saying, they want, and I think we discussed this off the air the other week, how he's not liked in the Big Ten. They want him out.
I said this for years on this show, and I'm not saying out or in. I'm not like Harbaugh plays he coached for my Niners, right? Almost got us there, right? So I don't have a problem with that, man, as a pro football coach. But what I'm saying to you is this, folks: be careful what you wish for.
Yep.
Head coaches, good head coaches. We talk about this all the time. They just don't grow on trees, folks. So get rid of him if you want, Big Ten, but you know that he's the only celebrity coach you got in your conference right now. Right? Because dude from Ohio State, no one knows him really. Dude, no one. Give me another coach. Give me another coach.
People coming from the Pac-12 next year.
That's next year. What's happening this year? So if you're betting that money, and they are, Kev, you're very smart, and that's a very great point. that they are looking forward, like most rich people are, and they're saying, look, we can live without him next year. Well, you know what then he's going to get everything he can out that ass. Pause. This year. That's all. If you're going to get rid of him anyway, he might be out there in a championship game butt naked. What you going to do? If you're trying to get rid of him anyway, if he knows the writing's on the wall, then yeah.
So let me read this. The Big Ten subsequently commended Michigan for the resolution. The Big Ten's conference committed to student athletes' sportsmanship and the commissioner's duty to protect the integrity of competition will never waver, the league office said in a statement. Today's decision by the University of Michigan to withdraw its legal challenge against the conference November's 10th notice of disciplinary action is indicative of the high standards and values that the conference and the university seeks to uphold. The University of Michigan is a valued member of the Big Ten's conference, and conferences will continue to work cooperatively with the university and the NCAA during this process.
Yeah, we move on to the next topic. I've got absolutely nothing. But hey, I think Michigan will still win the games they're supposed to win. That takes them right up to the Big Ten championship. So he'll be back for that. So, again, feckless. Look up the word. It means that you do something with nothing. Like, you're not going to get anything out of it. There are no teeth to this suspension. He gets to relax while they play, no disrespect, Kev, Purdue, Indiana, and someone else that they're going to beat by 50.
Oh, they're just my alma mater. I'm good.
Yeah, so that's all. That's all.
Shout out to Purdue.
But the last thing, real quick, and we got to go. If I see that offensive coordinator crying on the goddamn field this week like Jim Harbaugh is dead, because he's not, then we're going to stop all this acting, brother. All right, next topic, Kev.
Let's go real quick to this week's upcoming schedule. As I got it pulled up here, they got Friday, you got Colorado facing Washington State. We'll circle back.
Watch that one.
Watch that one. Why are we watching that one? Go ahead, D. Why are we watching?
I think Washington State has really good offense one. And we still have to see the Deion Sanders show, right? I think they still have a chance. They got to win out to get to a bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
But it starts Friday night. Now, Washington State's not a bad team. They have a really good offense. And I think it'll be a good game because I think these teams are probably more equal than any other game that they've had for the last few weeks. And when it's equal, you have better games. When you have teams that are kind of at the same level, it makes for a pretty good game. So, yeah, I think that might be a good game.
Let's move along. I'm going through some of the top 25 to Tulane FAU. You don't have to worry.
No, go out.
Chattanooga, nope. Penn State faces Rutgers. Oklahoma, BYU.
Okay, Penn State, Rutgers might be stick around for a half, like, kind of tell your wife, chill, honey, I'm going. And like after the first quarter, yeah, you would carry a butt to that store. That's it. Just go.
Oklahoma, BYU, Michigan, Maryland.
That could be interesting, but not,
Okay.
Yeah, just interesting, but not a good game.
Louisville, Miami.
You know what, man? Miami was a tad better, but they got athletes, so I'd watch that game. I would, if you got nothing else to do, you can do that.
Louisville's ranked 10 currently. Ole Miss, who got their butts kicked by
they play L.A. Monroe. Nah, can't
Utah and Arizona.
That's a game you can watch.
22 versus 17.
Yeah, and it's 2:30, which is early out there because it's 2:30 Eastern time. So that's a 12:30 game out there. So it's usually pretty interesting when you got those guys out there waking up early to play a game. So yeah,
gotcha. North Carolina, Clemson.
Yeah, well, Yeah, if you got nothing to do. Right. So I go with Georgia, Tennessee if I got to do anything at 3:30. Right. But if you got two TVs, then I go UNC Clemson. But there's absolutely positively, like, you ain't got to watch Wake Forest and Notre Dame, Ohio State and Minnesota, even though Minnesota's rowing the boats. There ain't nothing happening. Oregon, Arizona State, you don't have to do that. You really just don't.
Florida State facing North Alabama.
Anytime you got a direction on the school, nope. Kansas State, because it's an in rival,
Yes.
You may get something there. Washington and Oregon State could be something, because Oregon State actually runs the ball darn well, and they can try to keep Michael Penix off the field because Oregon State runs the ball a lot. Missouri should beat the heck out of Florida, and Texas should throttle Iowa State and LSU. And come on, Georgia State, man, stop.
So stop. Now that we rounded out the top 25, your main man, Chip Kelly, is he in trouble? And La La Land.
He should be, but it'll be another year or two, because
Did we lose the DA? DA, did we lose you? We lost the DA. DA, I don't know where you went to, bro. Yeah, he's frozen. Well, let me go to my notes here. They talked about
when you don't beat Alabama like 3-4 years in a row, you lose.
Go ahead, DA.
Yeah, I was just saying that.
Yeah,
if you
Yeah, go ahead. Keep on. What you saying now?
Yeah, I was just saying that, in the SEC, you lose to Alabama a few times. There's only one, and it's the craziest thing in the world. Like, you could beat everybody else in the conference forever. But if you don't beat Alabama and LSU, you're out. So the reality is, since they're both on the west side of the SEC, he has this year and maybe next year. But I always say, man, that dude's standing tall for real. Like, Kelly's out there like, yes, and they really haven't proven anything and have a great quarterback, and they usually have a great team. Like, they got good players. So I'm not impressed with that dude at all.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Well, there's nothing to say. I'm trying to defend them. You're right. If you don't beat those teams, you probably not going to be around long.
Yeah, they don't care. And that's if I may, real quick. And I'm sorry, son. I know, producer, I'm going to jump off something real quick. So when we have these conversations, and this is an offline conversation, folks, that we've had with the Deion Sanders situation at Texas A&M, and everyone's saying that, oh, well, Deion should go to Texas A&M. Yeah, if it was that easy, right? The biggest thing that folks have to deal with when you're going to these mega schools to coach, it's not just the X's and the O's. You have to deal with the sponsors. You have to, the alumni. There are just too many things, that fall into those situations that Deion may have to learn to deal with. Right now, when he comes into Colorado, he comes in running the show, right? Because the way it's set up. I would not go to Texas A&M, not yet, not till you have, like, everyone still needs to learn. And my problem is, like, people act like he's got it already, he knows it all. Like, dude he was at Jackson State for 2-3 years. He's at Colorado now. Jumping to the SEC is a different level of football, especially going to Texas. That state is a whole nother animal.
Wonderful.
Charlie Strong was a great coach at Louisville. He went to Texas, did okay, and the year after that, he was back on the street. He's in Central Florida. It's not the same game, man. So my thing is, let's let Dion take his time wherever he goes. Just take your time and do it the right way so you don't go and embarrass yourself and the kids that are playing for you. So that's my thought on just so, as we're talking about the SEC and coaches and, they're like one team, man. Like, for years, if Michigan did not beat Ohio State, because remember, before this cheating thing happened with Harbaugh, like they said, they lost to Ohio State every year. Every year. They got throttled.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's all. Next, I'm good. I'm good now. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
World.
We're going to move on to MLB. We got the awards that was coming out. How can I say? A few weird moves. The Mets hiring the Yankees bench coach, and they signed him on the cheap after they gave the last two managers like $50 million a piece. I'm exaggerating, but I mean they got
they gave this dude a pack of cigarettes and some chicken.
No, a pack of cigarettes, Beck's beer,
Beck's,
the court,
yes,
and some four.
Should have said shaken.
And some hairy chicken wings, kid.
Yes, they didn't even burn the damn feathers off the chicken. Here.
You're a Yankee bench coach? Hey, we're gonna hire you as and listen. We'll joke. We'll get around to that story in jest, but the Mets, they signed him. I don't think they should have moved away from Buck Showalter, but I'm not a Mets fan. But before I get to that story, let me get to the bigger important story, because that story happened the other day. The Oakland Athletics, they moved to Las Vegas, according to CBS Sports from Chris Bengal. The Oakland Athletics proposed to move to Las Vegas was officially approved by MLB owners, according to CBS Sports. Jim Bowden, no owners reportedly was opposed to the A's leaving Oakland for Las Vegas. In doing so, the A's will be the first Major League Baseball franchise to relocate since, the Montreal Expos moved to become the Washington Nationals back in 2005. The A's will still call the Oakland Coliseum home during the 2024 season when their lease expires at the ballpark. With the A's set to make the move, here's a look at some of the MLB teams that have relocated in the 5 decades. And they said, the Braves moved to Milwaukee, and the A's moved from Kansas City to Oakland. The Pilots moved to Milwaukee. The Senators moved to Texas. The Expos moved to Washington. So that's been the last couple of years. So check this out.
That's that black and white TV.
Yeah. So check this out. So the A's got approval. I think the ownership, my opinion, has absolutely sabotaged the fan base. One, by not fixing the stadium, right? So the football team, they was
horrible
right.
Stadium.
It was beautiful at one time, and of course it ran its course, and they never put no money into the infrastructure. And again, we think of things differently on this show, because municipalities have responsibilities, and families have responsibilities, and team has responsibilities. So it's not up to the municipality, the city, to pay for your stadium. It's not.
They got to pay for cops and pick up the fucking garbage, and
Civics 101. It's not. Oh, but we'll just put a hotel tax on it. Oh, it doesn't make a drop in the bucket. I mean, we talked about this with the people, and God bless all the residents of New York State who got shafted on the Buffalo Bills deal, right? And I used to be a New York State resident.
Yeah, me too. I'm not sure why that happened.
I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina at a time where I voted. No, let the Hornets pay for their own stadium.
Oh, remember with the Panthers, like 1 year they did good. Next, we think about getting them. No, hell, you not. That stadium ain't but 15 years old. What y'all doing?
Yep. So we just call it the ski mask way of how these owners get these municipalities. Some of them get scared.
Pay for
And
it, yeah.
some people like Oakland is like, hey, we're not doing it. We don't have the money. We don't have the money, like you said, DA said, for cops and teachers and all that good stuff. But we're gonna pass a referendum to build money for a stadium. And I think and DA, help me out here. I think Oakland, the Athletics, they got enthralled so much with this Moneyball thing, right? You know, so all those that remember Billy Bean, the whole Moneyball, we do more with less. Sounds kind of familiar, America?
Beautiful. We all try to do that at home, but we all also know that it doesn't always work that way. And sometimes you got to pay for the good grass seed if you want your grass to grow.
100%.
You can't keep doing it on the cheap every year. That's all. You have to figure out a way to get that money to win. So
yeah, definitely. So this is what happened here. And the funny part about it is with this Las Vegas deal, and I heard this morning on Dan Patrick, and he made a great point. He said, remember, everybody was outraged about moving any team to Las Vegas and betting and clutch your pearls and all this stuff. And now we're gonna have 4 major league sports in Las Vegas because the NBA
in a transient city where no one actually lives there.
Say it again, bro.
So what you're trying to do is take advantage of vacationers going to games. Now, let's think about this. You take your family or you go gamble in the middle of the effing summer. And it is HOT.
111.
Yes. And I'm going to come out of the casino to go sit at a game for 2 hours and watch a losing team? Really? How much sense does that make? Just help me make it make sense. Somebody.
Make it make sense.
Why would we do that?
Yep.
Now, I could NBA, maybe, right? It's the winter time. You know, you're inside. Okay.
The Golden Knights just won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, you can do that. Baseball in the summer? Really?
Well,
it would definitely only be, Kevin, I'll let you go. It would only be like, okay, so you're a Yankee fan, you're a New York guy, or a Yankee fan, you happen to be in Vegas that weekend, or that, whatever, that time, vacation, you go to the Yankee game. You're not going to see the A's, you're going to see the Yankees. And that's only if you're there and you have time. Because usually when folks go on vacation, they try to schedule all their darn time up. So everybody's, your wife has like an itinerary for you, everything you're going to do every minute on vacation.
So let me read this. I happen to think Manfred is not a very good commissioner, in my opinion. Let me read this. And this is also from people at CBS Sports. Matt Snyder says, the big news is that in the Major League Baseball world on Thursday was the official vote about the A's moving to Oakland to Vegas. The A's are set to have a new ballpark if things go according to plan. So, America, they don't even have a freaking stadium out there yet. Thursday, from MLB owners meeting, Commissioner Rob Manfred and the A's owner John Fisher held a joint press conference on what will be the first relocation in Major League Baseball. And let me just skip through some of this nonsense. He said, here's some of the notable comments Manfred and Fisher said. Manfred said, I know this is a terrible day for Oakland fans. I understand that. That's why we always had a
did he have the violin with him?
Of doing everything humanly possible. The ones on the Titanic he should have had, possibly to avoid relocation. And I truly believe we did this in this case. I think it's even beyond debate that the status quo in Oakland was untenable. I am absolutely convinced that there was not a viable path forward. That's what Manfred says. Then Fisher follows up. I understand that this is an incredibly difficult day in Oakland, and fans, I just want to say we did everything we could do to try to find a solution. And it was only that last couple of years we started to turn our attention to another market. So basically, what he said? Yo, I know I've been dating you, right? You look good.
Go ahead, Kev.
You look good, but you don't look good enough to you don't look good enough to marry.
And you've been dating her for 33,000 damn years, though, right? So, average of 18,000 fans packing games. But the MLB teams as rely on the local revenue from regional. That's what makes it a regional. So maybe there's a regional TV thing out there in Las Vegas that will pick up the A's, TV or something. It's gonna have to be something, man. So
let me just read this real quick. The Athletics will be the third major sports team the city Las Vegas has landed in the last 6 years, with the expansion Golden Knights of the NHL beginning play in 2017. And the NFL Raiders moving from Oakland in 2020. The Golden Knights have been very well successful.
And the LeBron Jameses will be there in another year.
Of over 18,000 fans, but MLB clubs rely more on local revenue from regional sports networks, from the NHL or NFL, which has 50-50 revenue share. Only about 2.8 million people live within 150 miles of Las Vegas. Given the A's pretty limited reach, and as DA alluded to, it's a transient city. Yep.
Can I get to some real baseball real quick?
Go ahead.
I just want to because you usually do it, so I just want to take this from you and give you a chance to breathe a little bit. I know you've been traveling. Right. So I'm gonna shout out all the awards really quick. MVP, Ohtani, American League, Acuna Jr., National League, Cy Young, Garrett Cole. Shocking to me. I'm a Yankee fan.
No, I think he should have got it. He did well. He was on. He was on a terrible Yankee team, bro. Yankees don't hit. Yankees don't hit.
Yeah. So I guess I say it because as a Yankee fan, if he wasn't older, I think the next contract he'd be like, I'm out because y'all don't hit. So Blake Snell, Padres, right, which is pretty good. Rookie of the Year, Gunnar for the Orioles, and Corbin Carroll. They both had great seasons. So if you didn't watch baseball, these two young guys here are very serious, man. Had very
check them out.
Serious, yeah. And then we go Brandon Hyde. Of course, he was manager of the year, AL, and Skip Schumacher in Miami. So two young guys getting the chance to do what they do and did very well with their teams. And then the Golden Gloves, Jonah Heim, Nathaniel Lowe, Andres Gimenez, Matt Chapman, Anthony Volt, Stephen Kwan, Kevin Keimer, Adolis Garcia, Jose Berrios, and Mauricio Dubon. American League, National League, Gabriel Moreno, Christian Walker, Nico Herner, Brian Hayes from the Pirates. There you go, Dan. Dansby Swanson of the Cubs, Ian Happ, Cubs, Brenton Doyle, Rockies, Fernando Tatis, Padres, which is wild because he didn't even play that much. So
right.
Zach Wheeler and Ha-Sung Kim from the Padres as well, utility player. And sluggers, and I'm out after this. Adley Rutschman at the Orioles, and he did. Yandy Diaz, Marcus Seaman, Rafael Devers, Corey Seager. We all know how that went down. Luis Robert Jr., Julio Rodriguez, Kyle Tucker, Shohei Ohtani, Gunnar Henderson, and as the team, the Rangers was the best
100%
this year. National League, William Contreras, Matt Olson, Luis Arraez, Austin Riley, Francisco Lindor.
He was flirting with 400. Arraez was flirting with 400 earlier in the summer.
Right? Ronald Acuna Jr., my man.
Yep.
That's my man's in him. Mookie Betts, Juan Soto, Bryce Harper, Cody Bellinger, and the team was the Braves. And I'm just saying one thing. As the second team being the Padres, my second team. Man, if you listen to this and see what I just read, there are Padres littered all within this thing, but they were nowhere near at the end of the year the Diamondbacks.
They were done in September, early September.
There's definitely something that has to be done
Yeah.
out there for real. So that's just my opinion. Go ahead, Kev. Any thoughts on this list that maybe something stood out to you?
No, not really. You make a good point about your Padres and how that list is littered with a bunch of, their guys, and this goes to show, right? On paper, it doesn't mean anything, right? We said this about the Dallas Cowboys all the time. Shout out to Dallas Cowboys fans. That paper championship doesn't mean anything. It's what you do on the field.
Yeah.
Period. Just finish on the field. That's all. Let me go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Kev. But I was like, it's just weird when you have so many names of players on a team, but that team is nowhere. I mean, dog, like you said, in September they put the fishing hats on, so they were going fishing. It was over. So that's what was really, really, it was troubling to me. It was like, wow, dog. Like come on, man. Tatis, Soto, Snell. That you got a pitcher, 2 field position guys. Come on, man. Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I definitely agree. No, don't let your blood pressure go up. So let me recircle back to this, revisit this story with the Mets. The Mets, who endured a pretty much terrible year. They had a couple of old signings with Scherzer and what's my man that went back to the Astros? I can't think of his name right now.
DeGrom, right?
No,
Scherzer. What's his name? Golly gee, not Scherzer.
He signed with the Mets and then he got traded in the season also. It'll come back. Maybe our producer will pull it up. Who's the Mets pitcher producer? Who you got that went from the Mets to the I don't know why I can't think of his name. Anyway, the Mets got a new manager 2 days ago, Carlos Mendoza. He was a Yankees bench coach here for the last 3 to 4 years, I believe. And we joked a little bit about this, but you know what? I'm happy the Mets gave somebody a new person a chance. Yeah. As he will win number 28, and he had his introductory press conference the other day, and he would just basically say, man, this is we're going to start anew, and we're going to try to do some new things. And he talked about, his lack of experience. Let me just read this. As a boy, Mendoza lived in the same apartment complex as Luis Aparicio, the only Venezuelan-born player in Cooperstown. They sometimes ran to each other in the elevator, giving his mother's occasion to explain Aparicio's accomplishments to him. Years later, as a chance would have it, Mendoza played for Aparicio in the Venezuelan Winter League. Through the experience, he began learning some of his skills he plans to use himself as a major league manager. Other influence on Mendoza's managerial career include Dusty Baker, Rob Thompson, Willie Randall, all who taught him ways to lead, whether overly or by example. They are lessons Mendoza planned.
Got shafted by the Nets. Cowards.
And this is what Mendoza says. I've been prepared for this since I started coaching. Mendoza said, referring to this time in the minor leagues with the Yankees, every stop along the way, and especially my last 6 years here in New York, I know it's real. I know the expectations from the fan base. It's one of the things where I can't wait to get started. I know I'm ready, and I know I am prepared. So kudos to the Mets for going to get somebody like Mendoza, who already knows how the New York media market works and how it operates and how it's
very smart in that respect.
And, kudos to him, and maybe hopefully they can turn it around, because to me, the Mets should have had more tracks in the last 2 years.
Yeah. Look about the paper. You got Lindor, you got Pete Alonso. You had pitching. Now I know they lost their closer, but come on, man. They were going in July, so it might have been June.
Yeah, true that. True that. DA, we're gonna give it to you with FIFA. What you got for FIFA? I know you wanted to say something last week. What you got for us for FIFA there?
Yeah, so we are again in the middle of the Champions League right now, and they've been playing and games. So at the Champions League, they kind of spread them out a little bit. But what I'll do real quick, I'll go over the groups and the top 2 teams of each group, so you know who they are. And then again, I think I explained it last week. The Champions League it's a novel idea where you have the 2 or 3 best teams in each of the different leagues will be put in the groups, and they'll play each other to be the best team in kind of Europe and Spain. So, you have Bayern Munich, Copenhagen, top two teams in Group A, Arsenal, which is a no-name, and PSV, which is another no-name. Group B, at the top of Group B. Group C, Real Madrid, Napoli. Group D, Real Sociedad and Inter. Group E, Atletico Madrid, Lazio. Group F, Dortmund, PSG, and Man City in Group G, and RB Leipzig. Group H is Barcelona, and Porto. And what you guys can do, and what I suggest you do is, they're still playing, right? So they just come out and play the games, and then they go back with their team and continue their season. So it doesn't break. It's like, 1 week you're playing your regular game, scheduled game, and then 1 week you go out and you play in the FIFA tournament. But what happens is once there's a winner of this, that's essentially the best team in Europe. That's what this championship is for. And then, as the lower leagues, the lower divisions, they have their own. And it goes down for 3 different championships that they'll be playing for. One, I think, is FIFA, the one's the European, and the other, I'll get the name. I think I said it last week. But the reality is I think it's such a great thing because everybody gets a chance to play. And not saying like, everybody gets a chance to play. I mean, everybody gets a chance to show that, other people in other leagues that may not see them all the time, how good these guys are. And I think it's with the Saudi Arabian thing, and a buddy of mine, we were just talking about this, it's really important that people see it now. Of course, things are about to change. Because as they have the money and continue to pay players, you're not going to have players that'll be in this unless FIFA allows teams from a new league in Saudi Arabia to play in the Champions League. So, right now, I think it's really important for guys people to watch this because you're not going to see this after the next 5 years. It's going to be done. So,
gotcha. Appreciate that, DA, with the FIFA stuff. I want to go to boxing real quick. Our other boxing correspondent, he is under the weather. He was a very late scratch, man, and Paul tell me that he's losing his voice, poor fella. So the D-Dub, he's a late scratch for tonight. But he wanted me to make sure that we mention boxing tonight, and
we got Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good fight, man.
So go ahead, DA. So that fight's supposed to take place this week, right? Let me just read this real quick. Shakur Stevenson will go at it with Edwin De Los Santos for the vacant WBC lightweight title tonight, along with their WBO super featherweight champion to defend the 2016 Olympic gold medals. So they're supposed to fight tonight. Go ahead, DA. You guys are the boxing guys. Take it away, man.
Yeah, this is going to be a good fight. Shakur Stevenson is what I would believe is a superior skilled fighter, but he drops his right hand and he's fighting the southpaw. So sometimes when you drop that hand, boy, with a southpaw, and he does it a lot, this could be a shock to most folks. So I wouldn't put a whole bunch of money on anything for this fight. I think they're evenly matched in that respect. The biggest story, I think, in boxing is that, and your brother D and I talk about this all the time, because they don't really have like a overarching administrative body, because each belt kind of runs their own thing. But we now have a situation with them that they're starting to strip guys of belts if they're not fighting. Now, with the Bud, they took Bud's belt,
the other day. Yeah.
Mr. Crawford, from the IBF, which was wrong, right? But I understand the sentiment that they would like to get guys to fight. Like, we have guys that are boxers that haven't fought in a year, right? You have a Charlo brother that hasn't fought in a year. We can't do that. That's just not good, because other guys aren't getting a chance to, get a crack at that belt. So with Bud Crawford, the problem with him and they gave Boots the IBF belt, and he's a bad man. He probably won't lose. He'll probably be there for good, right? I don't know if he's going to ever fight Bud because Bud's 36 years old, and it kind of doesn't make any sense for him to take that fight. At this point in time, I believe he's just trying to get that money and get out of there, kind of like Marvin Hagler. But the reality is they stripped him because he wouldn't, not because Bud Crawford wouldn't, schedule a fight and was ducking Boots. He couldn't contractually because Errol Spence had his rematch clause right away. So as soon as the fight was over, Spence said, "Listen, I want the rematch." So contractually, he has to do the rematch before he can do anything else. So with that said, there was no way in the world that he, how are you going to fight? You can't do that if you're contractually obligated to fight this guy. So I don't think it made a bunch of sense, but kind of is what it is. But I think the sentiment is the right sentiment. Is the reason why it's not more popular to me, and I don't like it more. But I will say the reason why the UFC is always going to be fights is because they have Dana White at the top. They got one guy saying you're going to fight,
but he doesn't pay anybody.
Hey, well, that's they're right. I can't knock that.
Saying this on the show for years.
Yeah,
we're gonna get some UFC guys on here. I know some UFC guys. We just haven't put it squared away. Go ahead, D.
Yeah. I mean, but the reality is, Kevin, that there's a problem in boxing. With guys, not fighting. The Charlo brothers haven't fought in a year. The whole thing with the Charlo fighting Canelo, made no sense because, how are you going to have a guy jump in 2 weight classes to fight a guy? Now, if he would have won and became the champion, then there are 3 weight classes of dudes. Yo, dude, where's my fight now? So you fighting the guys that had super welter, or are you fighting the guys at middleweight, or it just doesn't make any sense. So that's kind of the problem with boxing, and the IBF and the WBO and the WBC and the WBA are doing it their own way. So there is nothing that is consistent across the governing bodies of football.
I believe there's also a boxing story that Showtime will be ending its affiliation with boxing.
Yeah, and that's why Al Heyman's looking for somewhere else to sell his goods. Al Heyman's looking for somewhere else to floss his wares, and I'm not sure where it's going to be. But I think all of these things, causation, my fault. But yeah, there are causes to all of this. And I think that's why Showtime is like, yo, dude, we can't continue to fund these fights when you're not making good fights. Right? When you got your heavyweight champion fighting a UFC guy, it's hard to get people to watch. It's hard to get people to do the pay-per-views with Showtime now because you don't have a lot of fights. Dudes don't fight. If you had more fights, more good fights, Showtime would be in. They're not in because they don't have any fights, man. And this is why the reactionary part of, the IBF, and I'm sure the WBC and the WBO are going to do the same thing, because ESPN are free fights.
100%. Yeah.
So that's the issue, B. That's the issue, B. For real.
So,
but yeah, when D-Dub get back, we're gonna do we already talked about it, man. We starting to put together a little spreadsheet with the fighters and so forth and so on, so we can go belt by belt, and kind of say this is where we're at, and these are some of the problems, and these are the good fights that they should have, but now they don't have anywhere to show these fights. So Let's go.
Let's go on.
Speaking of fights,
you want to lead that one up?
Speaking of UFC,
perfect segue. Go ahead, D.
Boy, your boy Draymond put your boy in the dope fiend yoke. When we was kids, we called the dope fiend yoke. He put in the dope fiend yoke. He only got 5 games. Like, yo, come on, son.
Let me read this from Jason Owens of Yahoo Sports. The NBA is suspending Golden State's Warrior forward Draymond Green 5 games without pay for escalating an on-court altercation, forcibly grabbing Minnesota Timberwolves center Rudy Gobert, around the neck in a unsportsmanlike and dangerous manner. The league announced the penalty Wednesday in a statement from Executive Vice President of Basketball Operations, Joe Dumars. He's got a lot of nerve. The statement cited, shout out to Joe Dumars, man. Them bad boy Pistons. The statement cited Green's history of unsportsmanlike acts is assessing the penalty. Let me just get in on this. I don't know where for Draymond Green where it just looks like I don't know. He's playing basketball. What is he trying to do? Because all that to me the other night wasn't necessary. Why? Well, why? What are you doing? What are you doing?
He wants to do more podcasting.
I mean, he can. After every game, right?
Oh, he could do it all day now.
He's got 5 days off for it, right?
He got 5 days off. He can do it all damn day now.
So as I posed the question before we came on, as of course, we do our little post pre meeting. DA, and I'll answer. If you was the NBA commissioner and this happened and you was sitting at the Chase Center the other night and you were Joe Dumars because the commissioner's not handing out discipline. You're Joe Dumars. You're the czar of discipline. What are you doing?
Oh, this dude's out for 20, 30 games, man. I might walk his ass into his early retirement. He ain't gonna see you no more for this.
Because?
We know why? Because you got this little tournament BS. Uh-oh. I'm sorry, Ryan. You have your little in-house then whatever season tournament. So you're trying to promote this. And the only thing people be able to say at the end is, what's the biggest thing that came out of it? Oh, yeah, Draymond choked out Rudy Gobert. Because, dog, he was trying to put dude to sleep.
He was trying to sleep him, for sure.
And you could see it because he wasn't letting go.
The game just started.
I'm like, yo, son, you are absolutely. I'm like, yo, this is absolutely nuts right now. And I got listen, man. And I'm gonna tell you, I choose violence a lot. All right, real talk. Like, I've grown up I've had a violent life. Sports, we used to slap box when we was kids. Like, look, man. That's where we grew up. Body blows. Like, this is what we did. But what I'm saying to you is, that made no sense. That Rudy wasn't going to fight Clay.
You're gonna bust a grape, bro.
So what are you doing, man? That don't make you look tough, homie. Sometimes dudes will believe in their own press clippings, man.
Oh, I think
we got.
I think 100%. I think, Dana White, you might want to holler at your boy Draymond for real. So I'll pose that question to me if I was the discipline czar and I was sitting courtside or whatever, and I happen to see this, and I'm with DA. I'm probably giving him between 35 to 50 games for sure, because this is not the first time. And it's like, yo, what do we need for you to stop? To stop. Those of you who are listening may not be old enough. Remember, they suspended my whole Knick bench for 2 games. Was it 2 games?
Standing up,
and so-called crossing the line against the Miami Heat in the divisional round.
They wasn't even fighting. They just stood up.
And it suspended Patrick Ewing. Whatchamacallit?
That's not good.
Yeah. But I just want to give some context to how we have come here with this.
Where we have
come from. And this guy only gets 5. What do we say? 5.
Fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. Like way Dave Chappelle said, 5th.
Yeah, bro. So they gave him 5 games suspension, and I think y'all know how I feel about Adam Silver in this NBA. I think he's entirely too soft, and he has let the players, the so-called empowerment of the athlete or whatever. I think he's let them go too far with it, in my opinion. And
dictate what's
I think there needs to be balance with everything, right?
There has to be an ulterior motive with these the way the penalties are doled out. There has to be something, because I'm not.
There's supposed to be some kind of matrix, from my understanding, of discipline. Same thing at your job. There should be some mix of discipline at your JLB when you go.
Yeah,
because you fight at your job. Anybody that got a you fight at your job, you're gone. Yeah,
I mean, you choked your dude out, man. Like I ask all of the folks watching us, listening within the sound of my voice, go watch it and watch that dude's face while he was choking out this guy.
He was trying to sleep him
for no GD reason. Man, listen, we can't do that.
We're gonna move on. Before DA's blood pressure gets real high. We don't want it.
Real.
Let's move on to the National Football League. We got a good game tonight. We got the Ravens and the Bengals. That game is currently 7-3. The Ravens have the lead. Some news that came down on yesterday. Your main man, Deshaun Watson, will be out for the rest of the season with a fractured right shoulder, and he said he's been trying to play through it. He actually played a good game last.
Yeah, he
really did.
Yeah, the dude can play.
Oh yeah, he can play.
Like I don't think.
I think with him, a lot of people are, having a hard time of trying to get past whatever has transpired or whatever happened, right? But needless to say, he will be out. And the thing that I don't understand by the Browns coaching, they're not going to start PJ Walker. They're going to start the other guy. Your thoughts, D?
Dorian. I don't know why he has my name, so I'm like, he's good to go. But no, because he runs a little bit more, and I think they figure they can use that this game. And I think they're really going to platoon them both back and forth based upon, down distance and what they need.
Do you try to get somebody else?
Not this late in the game, because I don't think anyone else is going to learn the offense unless they're a guy that played in that offense before, or knows the coaches or something. At this point in time, it's only 6-7 weeks left, man. So you're not going to learn the offense.
No.
So I wouldn't waste my time or my money right now. I would get a running back, because that's what the hell you're going to do the next 7 games, is run the ball and have that great defense, play defense. That's what you're going to do. I wouldn't throw the ball no more than 5 times in the next 16 weeks.
Dang. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not at all. So I wish them luck, though, because that division is a tough division as always.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens. But I do think that they're going to probably try to get a running back. That probably makes more sense. Or buttress that and the offensive lineman, and that's the best strategy right now. Because the defense is there. You just got to keep teams keep them off the field. And have, if you can score 15, 21 points, you can win a lot of games with that defense.
Gotcha. Let's go on some of the predictions tonight. DA, this game is early. I believe I took Baltimore in this game. Cincinnati is, I don't know what's going on with them, but
they got a lot of injuries, but they got a lot of injuries. But again, I still think that the Bengals are a good team. I don't think they're a great team, and I know guys get real gassed. Oh, Joe Burrow, man! Like I'm like, that dude's come on,
bro.
Man.
Clicks and likes, bro. That's what they do.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I know.
Clicks and likes.
Listen, give the guy some time, man. Like, give him some time. Yeah, listen, he made it to a Super Bowl, which is great. but he had a team that went there with him. He didn't go by himself. They he just has to do better.
Yeah, agreed.
And the team is what it is. I got no problem with them, man. Oh man, almost called Odell Beckham. Or Odell.
Let me move on to a couple of games. Me and D will talk about Houston and Arizona. That game's in Houston. Arizona's playing well. CJ Stroud. We talked about him on the 4th and short here on Monday night. I think Houston is going to get Arizona. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with you.
The old NFC, what's that they used to call it? The Central Division? It was the Central? No.
Yeah, sir.
The Central, yeah. Or as Chris Berman.
Black and Blue Division. They used to
or what Chris Berman used to call it the Norris Division. Chicago versus
North.
Yes. Chicago versus Detroit. That game is in Detroit. Man.
I got Detroit
too. Dallas will be visiting Carolina, and Dallas is going to kick Carolina's ass.
That's gonna be. I wouldn't, find anything to do.
Carolina fans, they're gonna be a lot of Dallas fans in Charlotte.
Oh boy!
They're probably loading up right now, getting ready to come through. So give your tickets up. Just let them have their way.
They got stars out on North Tryon right now.
So just let them have their way, and because y'all are not going to win this game. Carolina is 10.5-point underdogs, and that probably could go up by Sunday.
Yes, sir.
The Clippers. Well, yes, because the Clippers have not won a game. The Chargers and Green Bay.
That's a hard game to call, man.
Yeah, and
they're both not that doggone good.
And they're giving the Chargers are 3-point favorites.
Yeah, that's good. That's about right. I'll take that. That's about right.
I'm gonna take the Chargers. I think Green Bay's not gonna win this game. Another game here, and where the spread is even more than the Carolina game. I don't know. I mean, Miami versus Vegas. They're coming down to Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, and they are. I adjust my glasses here. They are 13.5-point favorites over the Raiders. Yeah.
I know the Raiders that daggone bad, but I think Antonio Pierce is going to use that as motivation to run the ball, and play defense.
Will they cover?
And cover that.
Okay, they cover. Next game, the Giants versus the Commanders. Giants just keep losing for me. I appreciate that. Washington should beat the Giants, as Washington is 9-point favorites against the Giants.
That's kind of big, though, B. That's kind of big. But yeah, I mean, you got Danny DeVito. So, I mean, sorry.
Yeah, the funny part about it, he said he still home. He stays stays about 9 miles from the stadium because he grew up in Jersey and 9 miles from the stadium. Still stays at home with mom and stuff like that. Really good story, man. Let me move on to this other game, Pittsburgh against Cleveland. That game's at 1:00 on Sunday. Like you said, that's the Browns are 1-point favorites, and
that's wild, right? Because Pittsburgh has been outscored by everyone they played.
And they got to win it, right?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that's about. But I'm like,
hockey stuff right there,
Yeah. Like, how do you score more goals than you, but you win? Like, what does that mean? How my math is off. But without no quarterbacks, Steelers can get that game. They can keep that defense, It's just hard, man, because it's what the Steelers do. The Browns can stop.
Correct. The Browns,
it's really hard to run on that team, man. So I am not fully confident that the Steelers.
I'm picking Cleveland. I believe I picked Cleveland on my picks. I'm picking Cleveland, man.
What's right? That's you, Lone Wolf. Go ahead. You Lone Wolf.
Let me move on to the next game. Tennessee versus Jacksonville. Jacksonville got their arses kicked against the Niners on last Sunday. Tennessee, Jacksonville is favored by 2.
Wow.
Yeah. How the mighty have fallen, right?
A little disrespectful. I think that's a little disrespectful. Yeah, but well, I'll go with the Jaguars though.
Okay.
Kev's leaving early so he doesn't get caught driving up because he'll be in traffic for like 4 days. So yeah, Kev's well before the game starts. Kev is on the road.
Tampa Bay against the Niners.
Come on, man. I guess
they're 11 point. They're gonna cover.
No. Let me tell you something, man. Hats off to Baker Mayfield.
Oh, he's been balling. He's been balling.
But he's been balling, and people haven't been talking about it.
He's been balling.
I remember the whole, man, you're doing too many commercials, da. Yeah, maybe sometimes you're gotta get in the right system, man.
Oh no, they won't let you. They won't let you live with that. They won't let you.
They say he's doing too many commercials.
No, we will give him credit on this show, and we've been saying it from the beginning. He's been putting his team in position to win. The Tampa Bay defense is not too much to be desired to be, and that's part of the problem. Their defense is not good. Not good. But I'm picking the Niners, and I think the Niners will cover the 11.5 that they are favorite. Bye. We'll go to Orchard Park. The New York Jets visit their rivals, the Buffalo Bills, where they are. Well, let's get to this story, D. You fire Ken Dorsey, right? You fired Ken Dorsey. Your quarterback kept throwing the ball
to the other team
and fumbling, right? Now, during his press conference, he did say this. He did say, hey, we got to play better, da-da-da-da. But, he didn't say, hey, I wish we would have kept the coach, and I don't know.
Yeah, he said, Ken Dorsey's a really good guy. and I did send the Seven Santini brothers moving truck to his house. So
I paid for it.
Hey, Ken. And Ken, I'll call you wherever you land at, brother. Love you. It's not now the plays may have been the wrong plays or something.
Yes.
But and let's just keep it real. Wrong or right play, it don't matter if you're throwing it to the other team.
100%.
That's all. And their reluctance to hire a running back.
Say it.
Or a offensive line that can do any darn thing makes absolutely no sense. You're putting Josh Allen in a position where he has to throw the ball too much. And you know what happens then? Interceptions. Yep. That's what he does. And then my last point, and everyone, this one here, I will take all the smoke from everybody. All right.
We keep receipt.
I'm gonna say this real talk, guys. Like at some point in time, we're gonna have to stop giving dudes credit before credit is due. And I'm not saying that boy is a bad quarterback. I am not saying that at all. But what I am saying to you is this. Maybe he is who he was the first year. Because he's regressing back to the mean right now. He's going right back to where he was. That was the knock on him when he wasn't accurate. They said that when he was in college. They said that when he got drafted. But for some reason, we only hear about he got a howitzer for an arm. Well, shit. If you don't know how to aim the howitzer, you ain't going to hit nothing.
He's not going to let that word go, the howitzer.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I used to listen to this in these shows. They would do this, and I just laugh. Yeah. You talk about how strong the boy's arm is. I would rather the cat be accurate. And I'm not saying again. And when he's running the ball like some nut out there, no one says anything. But anybody else runs the ball, he's running the ball too much. He's running the ball too much because you don't have a running back.
Nope. And they have failed to get one while he's been there. He's been there. And Diggs has been mad that, I guess,
Big mad. But we'll see. I think the Jets might be able to win this game. I don't think I picked them. And maybe actually I think I did pick them because I had to go. We're tied. Me, you, and E are tied. So I had to do something different. I think I picked the Jets on this one.
The Jets can't score, bro.
I know.
Zach Wilson can't score. They talking about Aaron Rodgers will be back before Christmas Eve, the Christmas Eve game.
Oh God.
Yo, bro, win one for the Gipper. Yo, Willis Reed, Mickey Mantle. Here comes the Mick.
Ronald Reagan. There you go. Ronald Wilson Reagan.
Rocky Balboa against
It's not good. It's not going. Come on. Get him, Rock.
Come on, Rock. Come on, Rock. Get to your Rock.
Woo.
One of my favorite sports movies and what's it called, Rocky, by the way, man. If you can't get inspired by Rocky, man, and sometimes I'll just go and watch Rocky, man. If you can't get inspired by Rocky, man, I wish I had a picture. I think I had a picture.
He said pain. So what do you see, Clubber? Pain.
Sucker.
Sucker.
Shout out to Mr. T.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. T.
Let me move on. Let me move on to the other game. Seattle against the LA Rams. The Rams are 1-point favorites. That game's in LA.
Wow. Yeah. No, the Seahawks are going to win that game, but wow. I'm not sure how they get the Rams.
You think it's a little disrespectful? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think the Seahawks are a good team.
Oh no, 100%. And we said that on Monday with Geno.
Yeah.
Geno Smith. He's been playing.
We're fighting Genos.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how the heck that happened, but hey, listen. Yeah. I just because I don't even know who the Seahawks have as a running back. So there you go.
They might call me.
So when you're putting the ball in Stafford's hands to run the ball 3,000 times, to throw the ball 40, 50 times, you're going to get 3 interceptions. I'm just letting you know. It's going to happen, and there's nothing you can do about it.
100%. Let me move on. I'm picking Seattle to win that game, by the way.
Yeah,
Sunday night game. Minnesota visits the Denver Broncos. The Josh Dobbs story continues, and Minnesota's favored by 2.5. I think I'm going to pick. I think I picked Minnesota in this game, and the Josh Dobbs good story continues. And hey, listen, I don't know what's happened in Denver. Well, I do know they continue to play well. They play well. Looks like the coach Sean Payton stopped reading his press clippers and did whatever and tried to work with the quarterback.
Started coaching.
Yeah.
He started coaching.
Yeah. Coach the quarterback.
Please.
Yeah. Because I think the quarterback, I think Wilson can play.
Yeah, you paying him. You may as well coach him. These guys are stupid, Kev. Like, it's the car that you drive every day. Why are you not making sure that the spark plugs are right or it has oil or that's the car you drive every day?
Oh, no, but I need a new car because it's got a scratch.
You can do that if you want to. But what I'm saying to you right now, that is the damn car that you are driving.
100%.
So why in the world are you not, taking care of that? Like, I'm like,
I think this game is close. This game will be won by a field goal.
Lamar Jackson out. We down on the ground.
Oh no. We'll get a live update from Junior here in a second. Does it look good?
Yeah, don't look good.
Doesn't look good.
It don't look good.
But you just said Josh Allen runs too much. What you gonna say now?
He just fooled us too. Oh man, yeah, he got tackled on the sideline, dude. He kind of what we used to call alligator rolled him a little bit. He grabbed that ankle. Yeah, he's all right.
Okay, he's gonna be all right. That's good. All right, Monday night game, Philadelphia against the Eagles. The rematch of the Super Bowl against.
The Chiefs.
Philadelphia Eagles against the Kansas City Chiefs.
There you go. Go ahead, Kev. What you got?
I'm picking.
No, I'm asking you what you got.
What you mean?
I'm
going to pick the Eagles, man. I'm going to pick the Eagles. The Chiefs are 2.5.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one.
The Chiefs are favored though. They're at home. They're out.
We are in agreement, sir.
But I think I'm rolling with the Eagles. Let me circle back before we get out of here, and then we'll have our partner shots. And I meant to mention it during the NBA when we said Draymond Green. Why are the Clippers on fire with Harden at it, and the 76ers are like 7-2.
Yeah, it was a bad move, right? And I look, man, the dude is not wanting to change. He's not going to change. He doesn't seem like he wants to take a lesser role now. He did that, led the league in assists last year, led the league when he first got the Nets that year. Assist, it just seems now that he's like, yo, I want to do what I want to do.
I'm the system.
And there's just too many dudes on that squad that are stars, and they don't have any role players. Like, they don't have that Nicholas Batum guy that will help them, rebound or just set screens and do this. They don't have one because Paul George is not setting screens.
Nope.
So to me, it just doesn't seem as if it's going to work. But if Ty Lue makes it work even a little bit, he is the coach of the century. So,
gotcha.
and then those guys that we talked about, the role-playing dudes, guess what, man? They're now with the Sixers.
And that's what you need, right?
And they're setting screens for Maxey now. And they're getting Tobias Harris more open. Come on, man. I'm not sure why they did that shit, man. Like, and I know, I heard the background shit, with Harden and girlfriend.
Well,
you know what, dog? I really don't care. It work. Right? And at work, when you at work, you at work. You got to do what you got to do, man. So, yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. I will not belabor that point. Let me move on to the NHL. Let me not mention the power rankings. Our hockey dude is not here with us, but I am going to do the power rankings real quick. According to CBS Sports, the Rangers are number 1. They're 11-2-1. Shout out to my blue shirts. They're 11-2-1 as the power rankings. The Boston Bruins, the President's Cup winners last year and got outed. They're 12-1-2. Dallas Stars are 11-3-1. The Golden Knights, the defending Stanley Cup champions, they're number 4 according to the rankings. The Vancouver Canucks are number 5. The Florida Panthers are number 6. The LA Kings are number 7. Actually, the Kings and the Panthers, I believe they square off tonight. The Hurricanes are 8. The Avalanche are 9. The Penguins, Dan, the hockey dude, his Penguins are number 10 according to the.
That's not bad.
According to how they've been playing. Devils, New Jersey Devils of Newark, they are 11th. The Toronto Maple Leafs, who are made very much fun on this show by Dan K, of course, because he can't stand them. They're number 12. The Ducks are number 13. The Jets are 14 of Winnipeg. The Tampa Bay Lightning are 15. The Coyotes are 16. The Sabres are 17. Red Wings are 18, and the Islanders are 19. And they have buzz in Long Island that their coach might be on the hot seat because of their slow start. And the Washington Capitals.
They played well last season, so
yeah,
so I'm happy.
Yeah, and the Washington Capitals, they round out the 20th spot on the power rankings according to CBS. CBS also powers our ticker on our website. Make sure you visit our wonderful website. We have a lot of good nuggets on there. There's some shows from 4. There's some newsletters. There's a bunch of good stuff on there. Go back, read them, check it out. Make sure you what I wanted to say. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share the channel. Click on it, like on it, smash that like button, man. Make sure you jack up the algorithm. We're trying to get more stuff on the YouTube side. Make this a party on Thursday nights, Monday nights, and on Sundays, man. NBA want words to do well. Thank you.
More going to the locker.
Hey, one other story, real quick, D. I know I'm jumping around a little bit this week. It's only me and you. Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson, bro.
The Knicks are so sloppy, man.
Mark Jackson, man.
Dog, like, come on, like, it didn't. First of all, this is how the Knicks are so sloppy, right? This is how things are so crazy.
You want me
right?
to set up a story?
That was a story. I was just gonna say that was a story that no one would have known about or cared about if the Knicks didn't say something first. People didn't even know Mark Jackson was applying for a job, was even close to getting a job. No one thought about it or cared about that Mark Jackson was going to do 5 games here and there to spell old Clyde Frazier. No one cared. We didn't even know what's happening until you say that you fired this man. Why? It didn't matter. Mark wasn't. I'm going to tell you, Mark wasn't going to say nothing. So.
Yep, he's keeping it classy. And all he was going to just replace. So those that are Knicks fans, Clyde Frazier and Mike Breen been calling the games for years. But yes, Mike Breen is the top play-by-play guy on the national side, but he's been calling Knicks games probably since the 90s. Like you said, Walt Clyde Frazier's been calling games on the Knicks, on MSG networks, along with the radio side, along with Marv Albert. And he was going to and he was going to spell Walt Clyde Frazier a couple games because, like DA told me on the phone, he is up there in age. So, and then like DA said, nobody would have known the story if you wouldn't have said anything. That bothers me as a Knicks fan, and the Knicks continue to fumble stuff, and as Walt Clyde Frazier would say, stumble and bumble. Yes.
Stumbling and bumbling.
On that side, man. Part shots, it's only me and the DA. DA, what you got for us, man? Good show tonight, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Yo, keep your eyes open when you're driving.
That is a tip and a half. Listen, that's his tip. Please keep your eyes open while you're driving, and if you need to close them, please pull over and just take a nap. Just
don't even blink.
Just go to a safe place. I'd rather you go over and get to the rest area and pull into a safe place. Get you a hotel. Wash your face like our mom used to tell us in church. Just pull over. My parting shots. Let me get to my parting shot. Didn't have nothing heavy. Glad to be with you here on another Thursday night. It's coming up on the holiday season. So this coming week, schedule-wise for us, we'll be back on Monday again with both shows. We'll do the Gridiron, the college recap on Monday at 7:00. And then around 7:45, give us a little break and change hats and stuff like that, change whatever. We'll come back with the NFL Pro Edition on around 7:45 on this coming Monday. Yeah. No show this coming Thursday. It's Thanksgiving, so enjoy your family.
Yes, sir. Turkey.
Enjoy your turkey. Hey, and I was just talking to D-Dub about this. Hey, this Thanksgiving, this will be the first time in a very long time on Thanksgiving where the Lions game will not be a filler at Thanksgiving. And actually, you're probably trying to watch the game because Junior, I don't know if you can pull that up for me. Who the Lions face on Thanksgiving Day? I know they play the Bears this coming week, but that game will not be a filler. And you'll be like, wow, the Lions are like...
It'll be a good game. Like, people will actually pay attention.
8-2. So...
Last time I did that, Barry Sanders was playing.
Wow, that's been a long time. And that's when they play in the Pontiac Silverdome. So that's our schedule next week. And then... they play Green Bay. Yes, they play Green Bay, and they should beat the hell out of Green Bay. With that said, so should be good. So that's our schedule, and then next Sunday we can be back to doing our Gridiron Short on that Sunday. After that should be where all the rivalry games take place. Penn State and Michigan. That should be the one for who's going to the college playoff, and then we'll have the fourth and short segment on that Monday night, man. So we're excited. Thank you for all the support that you guys have given us through this journey. Thank you for all those on the podcasting side, the YouTube side, underneath the sound of our voice. We thank you. All those that have donated We thank you. We thank you. We thank you so much, man. So shout out to the guys that could not be here tonight. We appreciate y'all. To Mike Mills, to the Angry One, to Dan, our hockey dude, and D-Dub, who was a late scratch. Get well, brother. Drink you some tea. Get better.
Feel better.
Get that cocktail going, and get you right, bro, man. But I don't have anything else. Hey, want to shout out our super producer extraordinaire, Dorian Jr., man. He's been behind the scenes, man, and he's been making it go, Gadget, go, man. So thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Gadget, go. I aged myself. I surely did.
Yes, you did.
And he's laughing at us in our private chat here. Let me get out of here. Junior, you got the closing? I'm gonna see if you got the closing.
I'm closing.
Well, wait, we got to do the closing properly, bro.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
On behalf of myself, I'm Kevin L1, your host and moderator for the DA, for Mike Mills, for James the Angry One, for Dan K, the hockey dude, for Daryl D. Dub Warren, and our super producer extraordinary Dorian Jr. Hey, I'm Kevin L1, your host and moderator. Be good, be blessed. This is the Sports Chasers podcast. Hey, we will see you on Monday night at 7:00. Peace.
Be ready now.